All right, everybody. Good evening. We have Kurt and Mac here with us tonight. Everyone's ready, so we are going live. Maybe. And there we all are. Yes, it has happened, everybody. We are here. All right, so some of that slowdown there. Kurt had to splash some water on his face, kind of get ready for the evening, right? It's been a
Yeah.
day. It's been a day. It's a day that all of us in this sphere have gone through before. And it's never a fun day. It's an adrenaline-filled day.
yeah. Basically, sitting up in bed and staring at my phone, scrolling through my messages as my eyes just get wider and wider. It was one of those days.
Yeah, so let's get into it a little. So, Tillie, who is absolutely amazing, and I agree with literally everything Tillie has allegedly done. Using the correct wording. I love the work. I love the ethical hacking nature of it. I do also find the disclosures hilarious, but
Yeah, they are.
there are some kind of OPSEC violations, if you will, being done in the way that this is going on, and I would love to kind of talk about maybe doing that just a hair better. Some conversations that are definitely going on, because as we know, the news has hit. There's an article on Bloomberg and a few other places that Tillie's house was raided, and luckily they didn't arrest Tillie. They just took the computer. And this was at the behest of the United States Department of Justice. And it is related.
This had been months in the making.
Yeah, this is months in the
Like
making. Their
basically,
Verdaka thing was just coincidental.
No, well,
Or it pushed it over the edge.
But if you recall, if anybody keeps up on breach news, high profile stuff, what I believe was the reason this kicked off was there was a SonarQube related incident that the feds released a statement about insecure government SonarQube installations. This was I think it was back in October last year.
Yep.
That was Tillie.
Yeah. And
there is an FBI flash report that has Tillie implicated on it.
Yep.
In addition to
all our news is very public,
secrets.
and we're also at that point where Tillie actually just tweets it out sometimes, like just hey, look at and so like when you say that, you're not doxing someone, like the person has already said this publicly. But that leads into a lot of the stuff that needs to kind of maybe change a little, because Tillie is freaking awesome. Now we're lucky in one respect, I think, because it's near impossible to get someone extradited out of Sweden, or like out of Switzerland. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that pressure can't be applied that then messes with them there. It just means you're probably not going to end up in a U.S. jail.
And then there's also the concern of people that she was in mutual contact with.
So that's the next thing. Notice was put out earlier by a bunch of people, including Donk, that Tillie had been very clear that they are no longer in control of any of their infrastructure, and that anything that could have possibly been talked about in the last, however long you want to go back, needs to be considered compromised, and no new conversations on any of the old infrastructure or accounts. If you talk to them and someone talks back, it is probably not Tillie. Be aware.
It's only them if they get on a video call with you and hold up a time-stamped piece of paper confirming that it is you that they are discussing these things with on this day at this time.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be really clear about it at this point. And that's where we are, because they literally got the hardware. You can protect against a lot, but it's just like with Signal. A lot of us use Signal for things, Wire for things, Matrix for things, but every one of these things, if you just have my phone, there are tools that the cops can buy, that the feds can buy, that they just plug it right in, and it dumps any media files that were shared over there. So even if you're doing it like with images and Signal chat, they're going to get it if they have the hardware. And at this point,
a good example would be the recent Keybase
exactly
vulnerability that we had
the disclosure from you guys.
you think that shit's secure, and then they seize your machine, and you're like, oh hey, all that stuff's encrypted, and then oh wait, no wait, all these screenshots I pasted 6 months ago, uh, that how did they have those? Those messages were set to delete in 24 hours. These are very real.
Turns out there was
And
a kind of a caching mechanism that wasn't properly being cleaned up or encrypted.
yeah.
So this leads to let's talk a little about
Matrix, I will
Verdaka.
say, with Matrix,
Yeah.
you have the ability to configure a channel where every user must have their sessions verified. Like each
Yep.
individual has to have devices verified as a legitimate session, and in the case of a compromise, their sessions can be burned by others in the channel, so that messages cannot be read and decrypted anymore, following the burning of their keys. This isn't an often used feature. In fact, it's actually a huge pain in the ass to keep up with and manage. But when you are doing dangerous things
That extra couple hours is like, please, that extra couple hours is depending on where you are and what you're working on, the difference between freedom. So spend the extra few hours, please. As for verified, it's similar to like verifying like PGP keys or anything else, like really verifying that this person is this person based on these keys that they've provided in a way that I trust.
The typical manner is you click to verify with the user, and the Matrix client will show you a set of emoji, and you are supposed to like, a lot of people just hit accept and confirm because everybody's fucking lazy. But if you're doing really, really, really sensitive stuff, you're supposed to do an out of band confirmation. So a point of contact outside of that space that already is this person. You confirm off platform that you both are seeing the same set of emojis in the same order.
Yep.
And then that's your identity verification. That person is who they say they are on that device.
And it is worth that extra time if you're going to be doing all the fun stuff, really. I mean, if it's fun enough that it makes everyone laugh when it gets posted to Twitter, it should probably be in a channel that is that verified and that secured.
And just to be clear, as far as any of Tillie's work is concerned, from my perspective and from most actual professionals' perspective, Tillie has not done anything truly criminal in any of her disclosures. All of her leaks, all of her releases have been the result of just being really, really, really damn good at Google, at her Google foo.
Yes.
Finding stuff via open, exposed endpoints, documents, and whatnot on the ClearNet, not behind authentication.
Yeah.
Now in this case, she managed to find a super admin account for this surveillance company, just out there in the open. Like she was Googling stuff and she found an account. The account worked.
Wow.
And the next thing you know, you're staring at a master panel of 150,000 cameras spanning the globe from major corporations. And to make things worse, each camera had a button to go into a maintenance root shell within these corporate networks.
Yeah.
So at that point, is this a crime of somebody who had good intent, demonstrating malicious negligence in their security practices and their ability for any employee within a company to go and peruse psych wards, jails, banks, corporate offices,
Tesla's warehouses.
And on top of that, the fact that they could at any point essentially have a unfettered back door into any one of these organizations without any controls behind that. that's absolutely fucking insane to me. I I was actually like somewhat upset that knowing that the root shell thing was there, that it was dropped as quickly as it was. But I'm
Right.
also not gonna, like, obviously that is a crime, and I'm not encouraging you to do crime. But I was very saddened. I was
Yeah, there were
saddened
root shells inside of a
by
lot of companies' networks that I don't
and
know
as far
how,
as
but
I
I don't know how better to say this, but who deserve it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, there could have been some other things done here, but you know, whatever. One of the things that you have to talk about when you're talking about like the criminal aspect is that for me is intent is one of the pieces to it, and that was definitely not the intent here. And part two is, you know, impact. Like this only really impacted the people who have to secure these things. The companies, like, I mean, Tillie didn't go in and take a bunch of personally identifying information from a bunch of human beings at these companies and then put together a zip file and put it up on a torrent. Like, that's not how this went down. And things like that, like, are where you start to cross lines, at least I think, in terms of the legalities of this stuff. This was more a public shaming of a company that should have known better. This should have done better.
Realistically, this is a company that shouldn't even have fucking existed
Oh,
doing
well,
what it
yeah,
was
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah. Fuck all the surveillance state shit. But, like, you know what I mean. I mean,
But
this was a public
there
shaming.
are several layers
Yeah.
to just how this was wrong in every single possible way. This is a condemnation of every single one of these corporations, every single one of these governmental orgs, uh, um, these these hospitals, these prisons that were essentially using a vendor that was so fucking rookie that, like, man, I hope they go out of business for this. I hope they do. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Uh, they
Yeah.
As I
really.
said, a lot of companies who deserve it. This is one of them. Wow. So you know, OPSEC. You know, let you know. What would you say, like, given this kind of a breach, should have been done? Like the whole responsible disclosure white hat conversation, right?
Yeah. So I will start by saying, as always, it seems that, like, the number one thing that always immediately draws the intense gaze and ire of the U.S. government to chase you to the ends of the earth is when you fuck around with the US government. So this chain of events starts with a SonarQube intrusion that happened to impact the US government. So I'm not gonna try and stomp on anybody's fun. Anybody that wants to, you know, have some fun, cause some chaos, you know, stir up some lulls.
Yeah, you do you,
Um,
but
you do you, but
Know how this
when
goes.
the moment that the United States government becomes a factor or an affected party in any fucking way, that is when you need to step back, you need to evaluate what the fuck it is you're doing, and you need to take your fucking precautions, because they don't give a shit. They do not give a shit. They don't give a fuck if you manage to Google something that probably shouldn't have been out there, and it ends up making them look bad. They will do their absolute best to fuck up your day and make an example of you. Even if it doesn't actually go anywhere at the end of the day, and the charges are dropped, and it was a couple of years of useless time and money spent, they're going to do it anyway, because they have the time, they have the money, and they know that they can make your life absolutely fucking miserable for as long as they're able to uh, stretch it out. They want you to be afraid. They want you to feel like you fucked up, even if you didn't.
yeah,
That's their whole modus operandi. That's how the DOJ fucking works. The FBI will straight up try and fucking frame you
Yeah.
If they really want to try and get at you, they will launch all kinds of fucking bullshit entrapment schemes. They will slander you. They will, like, if you want to think of all the underhanded dirty shit that you could possibly do, you think of everything that everybody shits all over the CIA for interfering in foreign nation states and destabilizing entire territories for their own gain. That doesn't just involve nation states. That doesn't just involve geopolitics. They will do everything they fucking can to ruin a single motherfucker that looked at them the wrong way and they noticed.
Yeah, one of the things to think about when you're thinking about OPSEC and you're wanting to do really anything, be it for the lulz, be it for a breach to disclose, or be it because there's a real targeted attack going on, a la, I don't know, HB Gary. Like, there was no just finding something, they were it, right? Like, no matter what you're looking at when you're doing these types of things, one of the things you can also work hard on is minimizing the amount of government operators who are affected or who are called on it. When you look at this, think of, and this is going to be a weird comparison, but it'll help you really understand what I'm saying. Think of smugglers, right? Let's say you are in some country, say Canada, and you are stealing stereos from some dock where Panasonic drops them off, as they come over from Asia. And then you're trafficking, stolen, but I'm not talking like little stereos. I'm talking like, hi-fi, like $10,000 systems and whatnot. And you're trafficking them down across the border into the U.S. Well, at that point, when you sell them, you've got the locals. You've got maybe a little Interpol, but probably not one of their best guys. And then you've got maybe the FBI, the RCMP. You've got about 4 little groups, and they're not putting their best people on stereos. Now, you've built yourself a mechanism by which you can take something that you shouldn't illegally and get it into America. The second, and I mean the second, one of your employees who has access to this stuff decides to put, say, a kilo of cocaine through that same shipping network, your shipping network works, obviously. Your stereos aren't getting stopped getting at the border or on the other side, right? So it's going to probably get through. But the second you did it, you know who you involved? The DEA, the ATF, and 20 other, groups of federal and international, people looking for you. And, like, that's just an example of minimizing your exposure to government groups who would actually care if you existed or not is key to this type of stuff. And, in that scenario, you went from 4 probably low-end desk riders to elite groups inside of 20 different, governments, law enforcement arms. Like, you can minimize that exposure simply by choosing certain actions and certain targets and certain ways you do things.
If you're gonna fuck around with the federal government, don't do it under a known alias. Just
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically, let me put it this way. Over the past number of months, I've had people come to me with number of concerns about things that I myself am doing, and I'm going to tie this in with this current set of circumstances,
yep.
and really put it into perspective. So, say you or me, say that you live in a country that has designated specific groups, actual terror organizations within my country. Okay,
Yep.
so ground floor, and I decide to embrace that and openly fuck with all of these orgs. I don't care. I don't care if it is a crime in the jurisdiction of the United States. It may be, it may not be, but at the end of the day, I am fucking with a group of terrorists that would never be allowed within my nation because they would be stopped at the border as a terrorist threat or as a known Nazi, because hate speech is actually illegal here in Canada. If you are a noted white supremacist, there's a next to zero chance you're going to be allowed into this fucking country. End of the day. So I will say, ground floor, I am very picky choosy about what actions I choose to openly associate myself with. A lot of people seem to think that I am an unhinged, chaotic whirlwind that just doesn't give a fuck, but that is the absolute furthest from the truth. Um, I'm just a really good showman.
Yeah. And
So
that's needed in these spaces. You've got to have the
that
people who are
is.
good at that. It's how you get
It,
the right coverage from the right things.
yes, and it encourages other people to step up and to start acting on their own. They might choose to keep themselves secure, safe, work in the shadows, and I encourage you to fucking do that. Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
give way more fucks than I visibly seem to not give fucks.
Right, right.
Like
And you've got to play it that way too. I mean, like, you've got to
exactly,
put on the face. But you
exactly.
are right. Like the best thing that I ever feel in my life is when I'm talking to someone and I was at this is a funny one. I was at the National Geographic offices in New York for a thing. Let's just say that. And I was on their floor that deals with all of their television content. And as I'm walking down the hallway, one of the people in this floor of this building in New York just leans out of his office and sticks a Guy Fawkes mask out the door, nods at me, and then closes his door and goes back into work. And like stuff like that, like I'm just like, that makes me happy. Or finding someone who's in politics now and says, first thing I did was at Occupy. Like, like the things that we were involved in getting off the ground and working at really early, like it makes you feel good. So, and it's the right thing to do. It shows that you're getting stuff done.
And there's
so
also
I love that.
I will admit that there's a little bit of insecurity and overcompensation and attempting to dissuade certain people that when I started being more public about my actual past in the last summer that I was actually a man that was losing his mind, insanity, and was absolutely convinced of complete and utter fabrication. And a lot of these people were showing me pity or distancing themselves from me because they thought that I was completely and utterly fucking insane. I had lost my mind,
Yeah.
and that hurt because I had I had enough of trauma that I had gone to see mental health professionals. I tried it a few times, and I had been tested for schizophrenia by these mental health professionals the moment things started turning into the root of my trauma, because they didn't fucking believe me. So I completely stopped even trying that route for a while.
Right.
So obviously me being bombastic and really like trying to demonstrate my legitimacy, that is a factor. I will admit to that. And as time goes on, more and more and more people are coming to terms and realizing that no, actually,
He is who he says he is.
yeah,
Right.
and
I mean,
and
I
that
knew
helped.
the second you came back, I was like, oh, this guy. But that's, I mean, we kind of tussled in the past. And by tussled, I mean, you kind of came at me and I took it because I was not prepared for it. But,
Yeah, yeah.
so my memory of you was still very vivid and all the things you had done.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do remember the day you queried me on IRC because Party Van kicked
Oh,
your
I
ass.
started it.
Sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
started it simply by not realizing I shouldn't have asked. It
Yes,
was one of those
and
situations where asking was actually the wrong move. Like, and I get it now,
yes,
totally. But like,
there were defense screens, there were layers,
yeah, yeah.
those layers, it was a very strict and hardline rule not to fuck around with those smoke screens. And if I hadn't have done it, some of my other friends that were present and managing things on a higher level
Yeah.
would have totally fucking been 100 times worse. So
If you had let us on your network, it would have been so much worse for everyone.
yeah, yeah. I don't even think I had the capacity for 1,000 people, let alone that.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
but
insanity. I had never run anything with more than a couple hundred people on it at that point, like in terms of me running the damn servers or helping to run the servers or dealing with it in any way. And so when 10,000 people showed up, I mean, we had no fucking clue what we were doing. None.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, so but back to the original point.
Yeah.
I'm so there is very it is almost a certainty that at some level there is a dossier or some kind of rap sheet just keeping an eye on me and my actions. And while nothing that I have done and have been attached to is in any way something that the DOJ, should they want to do so, be capable of actually hopping on and pursuing with any level or chance of success. The moment you get entangled with something that involves something that they can fucking slam you with, it doesn't matter if they didn't want to go pursue you for that shit before. They will take absolutely every goddamn thing that they can possibly try and throw at you.
Yeah.
Throughout your illustrious career, they will hit you with all of it all at once. They don't even fucking get
Stuff that flew under their radar that they still had a list, but they weren't coming at you for. Because why? They're waiting for that moment when they can say, all right, well, here's the thing you did that got us involved, but here's the 50 other things we already knew about.
Yeah, we're gonna take this one thing and this all this other stuff. We're gonna trump up the charges. We're gonna throw everything we fucking can at you. At the end of the day, out of all of these 80 fucking charges on this indictment, 79 of them are going to be dropped, and you're going to have this one left, and basically fuck you, go home, and just don't fuck with us.
It's all about limiting your exposure to them. And also, I mean, depending on the targets you go after, and not, let's say you don't go after a government target, but depending on who the targets are you go after, and then what you find out about the targets you might have gotten into, almost accidentally, because a lot of hacks are, like you said, even it's Google dorking. You're searching around and you find a thing. Well, let's say you get into that thing. One of the things when I used to be a little more active I would do is, I would look up who actually owns this damn thing. Who is, the head of this company. If that guy's best friend is like the head of the DOJ, or his best friend is the president of the United States, yeah, I'm not disclosing this one. That's an extra level of heat that just is unnecessary. And there's 20 other companies I could get into tonight. So, now I might do something about responsible disclosure later, but I'm not gonna sit there and make up something lousy and put it out at that point. There's extra steps you can take to keep them from moving you from the we're not really caring too much list to the we're gonna fuck with them now list.
And on top of that, like when you are doing sensitive work, when you start operating with other individuals, there is a balancing act of you want to make sure that anybody that you are dealing with and anybody that you are trusting enough to do work that is potentially dangerous, it would behoove anybody that listens to this and absorbs this to before you see, oh hey, yeah, this guy's elite, he can do shit, okay, cool, let's bring him in, let's start working. It would behoove you to try and get to know people first, to get talk to them for a while. Don't like straight out the gate ask them to fucking dox themselves to you, or like who the fuck are you fed?
No, but there's also stages. You can bring them into the channel on the system that is secure enough that you do a little there, but not into you might have a signal room or a wire room or something. But then when it comes down to like the real nitty gritty, and you've trusted this guy for months, they might be brought into the Matrix server. You know what I mean? Like, you can also stage these people in a way where once you've built up a level of trust, they can get deeper.
I don't. I like my tiers of trust are essentially I meet you. I talk to you for a while. We you know we kind of get to know each other a little on just like a casual, friendly basis, as if you're just like chatting up somebody that you met on Discord, or you played a round of fucking Call of Duty with, and they really liked your style, and they added you to a friends list on Xbox Live, and they kind of want to they want to get to know you a little more because you're intriguing. Now, people approach people like us all the fucking time. Ground floor, like it is a daily occurrence,
How many DMs do you
and
get a day asking to hack an Instagram account? Yeah, I mean it's
don't
50,
fucking ask me to
60.
do a felony. Like, just don't
You know what
fucking
I'm
do it.
saying? Like it's
Yeah,
nonstop though,
it
right?
happens.
Like
It's
nonstop.
nonstop. Like, if you do that, I'm never going to talk to you again.
Yeah, exactly.
So typically, like, there's a ring of trust. People that do shit typically know other people that do shit. So, and there are back channels. There are people that are constantly looking out for each other, and like, everybody is. I guarantee that me myself, there are at least a dozen groups every fucking day that I'm not even aware of, that are watching everything that I do, everything that I say, and are talking and inspecting it with a magnifying glass, because I am definitely outside the norm in the modern era, with my aggressiveness and my willingness to make a hell of a lot of noise. And I
Yeah.
get that. It's taken a lot of people by surprise. And a common question is Kurt a Fed?
I mean he's Canadian.
Well,
I
I
mean
mean, yeah. First of all, I'm fucking Canadian. Y'all need to stop that shit. I'm not in the United States. I've had people call me a confidential informant and say that I'm getting a good paycheck. It's like, no, I'm fucking, like, I am
he's
essentially
begging for
like,
pizza money. Like if he was
like I
getting
am hand
paid, like
I
it's
am hand to mouth
now I
right
gotta say, I
now.
mean anyone out there who thinks that, like you've seen him on our streams on other places when it's been at that stress point, like there was a time, you mentioned how stressed out you were one day, and everyone in chat stepped up, and both of us got grocery store runs. Now, I've got one thing to say to that's great, and I love chat for it. You guys are amazing, but if anyone believes you are a Fed in that regard, or an informant in that regard, and you're getting paid for it, then they also believe that you are an amazing fucking actor. Because while drunk off your ass one night, you looked so fucking pure in your need that we all believed it, right? And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I don't think you're that good of an actor. So I mean, that's a real strong point for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he could just have one hell of a habit.
Yes.
Although I think we would probably notice that level of habit.
Yeah.
Indeed,
so
indeed.
so it all starts by communal reputation. From
Yep.
there, people asking each other, oh, hey, you know this guy? Oh yeah, I know him from here, there. um and then from that point, it eventually you might start talking off platform, in more secure venues. If it's Signal, then obviously you are exchanging a set of phone numbers in order to commune there, and that could be a level of personal identity verification. A lot of people do use burner and voice over IP numbers in order to sign up with a Signal account, so that's not a given, but it is a step. um, if they've been around a long time under different aliases, and they seem to know you, or know your past work, or know some actual history with some level of clarity, that also helps. But it is also a little bit of a red flag. At that point, that is when you do need to start cross-referencing and discussing with other people they're mentioning, like, hey, do you know this guy? Just,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure that everything's on the level. And and
And I will say one thing in that regard right there, never guess. When you're talking to someone under a handle that you don't recognize, and they start talking about past things, and you think you know who it is not your job to say, hey, are you X? Because
You just handed them
you're
information.
giving them the information
Exactly.
they need to say, oh yeah, I'm that. Because then they know that the information they've collected as a, you know, as an agent, as a whatever, as a CI is good, and they know that you think that information means they're a person, and you're helping them confirm a past identity that isn't true. Always ask who they used to be. Never give them a name and say, were you X? That is the worst thing you can do. Because you're trapping
dealing
yourself.
with a cold reader.
You are trapping yourself at that point because you're showing them that this information would prove to you that they were that person. So when they say, yes, I am, you're like, oh, great. And so you just...
And on top of that, that means you're giving them an opening to then go and further exploit this with additional people that they had not yet begun to probe. Like this is like we are talking about the ins and outs of long-term espionage, and it's a very real thing in this world. So obviously not a lot of people are going to be comfortable with just straight up like asking for just more verification on who they are, who they say they are. Anybody that's been in this game for long enough, it's almost an unwritten rule, and at a certain point, each party will reciprocate naturally and confirm details to a point where you both feel safe and secure working with one another. It's just something that naturally happens. You never want to fucking ask for it. You want to just, you know, maintain a rapport until the point comes where, yeah, you are 100% certain that this person is legitimate. They are who they say they are. It is safe. I can feel safe dealing with them. And on top of that, that also helps ensure a level of insulation and ensuring that other people within the community remain safe in the event of a compromise. Because once you know who a person is, regardless of handles, say that you find a news report about an arrest about an individual, doesn't matter what they were arrested for. It could have been a bar fight. It could have been something innocuous. But point being is that you know that they have been taken into custody, and you can take appropriate measures to keep yourself and everyone safe until you are sure that that there is no longer a risk factor in place. That's burning chats. I'm not going to get into the ins and the outs of it, but you know,
a lot more of the methodology will be learned in private if you've I don't know. It's really hard to say this correctly, but if you've earned it, if you've shown up somewhere and someone feels like I need to teach you this to keep me safe, you're going to get a lot more detail. Yes, but there is new blood. There are a lot of people out there trying to help with the initial stuff, but for the much deeper stuff, it takes a lot of personal one-on-one attention to get someone up to speed on some of this.
And this sounds like for a lot of people, this is kind of a catch-22 where you don't want to self-incriminate, but at the same time, a behavior that is highly uncommon from informants or from government actors that are attempting to infiltrate and bring down a group is typically feds don't directly and implicitly do crimes, especially like informants. If you're an informant because you've already been nailed for something and they have you under the ringer, typically they won't be doing anything overtly themselves. They might call targets, they might do a whole bunch of entrapment shit, but you won't really see them actually doing or participating in anything.
Yeah, like if a button needs to be clicked and that button is the thing that is the illegal act here, they will not click that button.
Yeah.
Just to make it easy for you. Like, if they're asking you to click the button, it's kind of a sign.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, if somebody tells me to do a thing, I don't know who the fuck you are, and it's completely out of your character, I'm sus. Immediately, I'm fucking sus. I'm just going to be like, oh, sorry, I didn't see that message. I've got some stuff going on. I'm sorry.
Right.
entrapment and self-incrimination is a huge thing. Typically, you can tell you're in a safe shared space when people are sharing information about things that they are doing as an independent actor. Because like people want to talk about what they're doing and being like, hey, check out this cool thing. Hey, check out this cool thing. Of course, you're obviously going to be careful about that because you don't want to be like, oh, hey, I'm inside the NSA's internet right now. Check this shit out. Because the moment somebody says something on that level, you're just like,
right.
You
I didn't even want to be here.
You have a death wish?
Yeah, right. Like it's been nice knowing you.
Or you're a foreign nation state actor, and wow, okay, feel free to tell me what you do later. I'm just gonna go back to what I'm doing independently.
Gonna go play some Minecraft. Like I'm out of here. Like gonna just ignore this for a while.
Why did you even tell me that?
Yeah, why would you even tell me that under a known handle? Like,
it's crazy times.
Yeah, there are a lot of things. Another thing to keep an eye on is access patterns and behavioral patterns. Like a good tell that something is out of the ordinary is somebody behaving completely out of character or starting to communicate with you on a much more frequent and 24-hour basis. Like say they're on the other side of the world and you're used to communicating with them on
when you should be asleep.
Evenings their time.
Yeah.
And you're usually asleep, or sometimes you decide to pull an all-nighter and collaborate on something because you know that you have different sleep schedules. If all of a sudden that their routine has changed up completely and they have no reasonable explanation for it, there is at that point a chance that they have been compromised, and now there is a team of people managing and utilizing their shells, their accounts, in order to mine as much data as they can about all of their mutual contacts. Like there is a lot of stuff in play. And again, if you're using Signal, you're using Matrix, they have mechanisms to protect against accounts being utilized on unknown devices. Use them. You see a safety number change. You see an unrecognized session. Don't just look at it like it's just just noise. Like it's just a little informatory message of a glitch or just something that should be hand waved or not looked into. No. If this is if this is a person that you trust implicitly, you need to do your due diligence constantly. Because it's not just about protecting yourself. It's not just about protecting your friends. It's about looking out for that person as well, because they might not even be aware. They might not even know. Like they could have been compromised and be asleep, and they wake up the next day and you contact them out of band. And you're like, hey, what's going on here? And, you get
they're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
You get them in a voice. You get them in a voice call or a video call or some way that you can verify that it is the exact person that you're expecting to talk to. Because like you might want to have a visual, but if I haven't at least heard your voice and know what you sound like and your mannerisms, then I don't actually know you. You're just a persona. You could be just playing the long game, and it's a whole thing. I could.
There's a lot of verification needed, but the second that things change and change in a major way, you have to re-verify everything. And I mean, this happened with Sabu. I argued with people in a certain IRC channel named Command and one named HQ for hours after suddenly this person who had been silent, like publicly, for months, decided to start screaming on Twitter at the top of their lungs for hours on end. And I was told I was being stupid. And that's why I should walk away.
A lot of people, that is why a lot of people lately that didn't experience me back in the day but were around in the coming years and watched all that shit go down. That's why a lot of those people that still have a hell of a lot of PTSD from those events.
Right.
Why a lot of them have been suspicious of me or think that I'm being absolutely reckless in my behavior.
Right.
Whereas you already fucking know what my style is.
Yeah, you have a style, and you got past some personal things that kept you from this, but you're over them. I mean, not all the way. You never do. Personal traumas, things like that, they're gonna stick with you. But you got to a point where you could be you again.
Exactly, and you know, like this, the way I am now is the way I was like back before Chanology.
Yeah, the last few years has been the weird part. The now is what I remember.
Yeah. So when people think that I'm pulling another Sabu, I will just say, one, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, right.
And two, this is just how I have always operated, and a lot of people are not used to it. A lot of people were taken aback and thinking that, oh hey, he's just trying to incriminate a whole bunch of fucking people and get them all locked up.
Right.
And I understand why these accusations are levied at me. I can understand why these things are thought and brought up. But
any of that was true, there's a few people who would already be arrested. So it just that isn't what's going on here.
You probably would have already seen my name on some fucking document somewhere leaking from a federal organization. I'm just saying that much.
Indeed. So we've talked a lot about that. I'm sure, at the end of the show, if anyone has any questions, by all means, you'll put them in when I ask for, as many questions as possible. But I wanted to ask about some stuff we've already talked about. Have there been any in the last week or so? Any updates on Gab and Torba? Anything fun?
Oh boy. Woo! So Andrew Torba.
Andrew. Andrew
Torba. Well, he seems to be a big fan of fucking around and finding out.
Yeah, he is.
He does not know when to shut the fuck up and take his L like a responsible CEO.
But you're a demon. And so is everyone else involved. And everyone who actually did any of the things they're bigger demons.
My big gay non-binary trans demon hacker family.
Right.
And this will clearly piss people off, but God bless us all. We are doing the Lord's work.
Indeed.
Woo.
He does not know how to take the L. But that leads into an interesting other piece of information. I don't know if you know yet, but Mike Lindell, Mr. MyPillow himself, is starting a social network. And his network... I have
been notified.
His network is going to be called Vocal. VOCL. And it's already being sued by Vocal, VOCAL, of course, because, I mean, what the fuck? So Mike Lindell's Vocal is supposedly a mix between Twitter and YouTube somehow. And
but you can already video upload to YouTube,
and you can already live there because they took Periscope stuff and built it right in, like all that.
They even implemented fucking Clubhouse.
They did, yeah. They have the audio thing now, and but yeah. So so it's stupid, but he has said clearly that you will be able to talk about all the anti-vax stuff you want. You will be able to talk about all the stop the steal, election fraud, whatever stuff you want. And you will even be able to talk about all of the demons out there fighting against us that you want. He specifically said that the posting about demons will be fine and will not be considered at all, any kind of an attack or hate speech or anything, because they're demons. So, yeah.
These demons got a message for you, Mike Lindell. You better go to your pillow and bite it hard, because we're going in dry.
Indeed. I just do not believe that Mike Lindell is capable of getting a secure social network off the ground.
Oh no.
I mean, look at Gab is 5 years old and had their code open source because it's based off of fucking Mastodon in the first place.
Yep.
And look what happened.
Yeah. I mean, Vote and Parler, everything the right does seems to be horribly broken. But,
Captain Jack Sparrow and my LARP. Like, oh, come on. My little anonymous revival project.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Nobody noticed the acronym. Like, and that is art. That is self-referential and meta as fuck. And oh my god.
Oh, there, Tucking Vipos just got it.
I was looking at the news article on my phone, and I looked at it, and literally without skipping a beat, my brain, because being a pioneer and PhD in viral memetics.
Right.
I looked at it, and my brain instinctively, I didn't even read my little anonymous revival.
Yeah, you
project.
read my LARP.
I saw it just staring me at the face, Jack Sparrow and my LARP.
Right. It was like I read it, and then I went back, like my brain did something. It was like, no, we're gonna revisit this. And like 10 minutes later, I went back and read it again. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I didn't see it the first time, but I knew something was wrong, and I went and reread the whole thing for what I had missed, because I had that subconscious thing, saying, no, read that again.
Yeah, like because that brought me back to an interaction between Anonymous and Andrew Torba on Twitter, as Torba was angrily fuming about Anonymous successfully deplatforming all of the third-party vendors of Parler one by one.
Yep.
And Anonymous had noticed this and instantly replied to Torba saying, "I'm coming for Gab next." Torba, his instinctual reaction was to quote this and say, "I fear no LARP. God is with Gab, begone demon."
Right.
At that moment, he sealed his fate.
And he opened up the door to such great memes and all the mimetic speech that has been written in responses to him now. It's I mean, it's similar to Hal Turner early on, in that, one of the things that I liked to say about Hal was, there were so many people who just shut down, turned off their phones, and walked away from it all in hopes that it would go away. And you know what? Most of the time that worked. But Hal responded, said, "Get on my radio show," was yelling and screaming violently, Torba's responses.
Were you there on the March 7th episode of Hal Turner?
Yes.
March 7th, 2007. The day when he essentially he tried to appease us as much as possible.
The Pedro phone call was in that episode too.
The first 30 minutes of that episode was just him talking about how he was going to fool us all and confuse us by donning a black suit, a red tie, and a costume afro, so that he could be one of our non-Negros.
Yep.
And
his words.
His words. He
because of course they are.
He was working so hard to just try and try and appease us at that point that it hit that peak level of ridiculousness. And the entire point of the call-in section of the show, instead of cutting us off when we would fucking blast Chocolate Rain and Never Gonna Give You Up and shit, instead he's like, "Okay, I want to talk to you. I want to say hello." And it was just us calling in and memeing on him and being like, "Yeah, so Hal, how are you enjoying us?" And I even had a section of that segment. I called in. He tried to get me to admit to some crimes, and I immediately deflected. I was like, "Oh no, I had nothing to do with that. Statutes of limitations have long expired. That was totally fucking me, and go fuck yourself. I enjoyed taking all of your goddamn domains and redirecting them to 420chan. It was one of the funniest goddamn moments of that year."
That was that, and the email from him were both the best part of it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, I always think of, when I think of what Andrew's doing right now, it's similar in that he's interacting in a way that's funny, so it's driving it even farther.
Yes, and it doesn't matter how many people try to warn him. They They don't
Never
get it.
helps.
They really don't. They really don't.
You are feeding a perpetual comedy machine.
And don't feed the trolls. Come on now. Stop it, guys.
Hey,
but
hey,
also,
hey, hey,
actually,
hey,
Andrew,
hey,
do.
Hey, no, feed the trolls. I fucking encourage you. If you are one of these shit bags, please, for the love
Please
of
do.
God,
Oh, yeah. If you're one of them,
keep
please do.
doing it. Like, just go fucking dox my whole fucking family. It's not like they're new to the concept.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
They know what's going on.
They're like, oh, this shit again.
Please give us a reason to fucking ruin your day.
As I've always said, most of the
and
targets just kind of stand up out of the crowd and say, me next. We
don't
really make any choices here. It's like, oh, you want attention. Okay, great. Yeah. No, here we come.
Yeah.
It's good times.
But I'll tell you what. You fuck around with my my child. You fuck around with my wife and child in any way.
Yep.
I don't even care.
There are lines.
There are lines. I do not give a fuck what I have to do. I do not even fucking care if I end up locked up for the next decade. I will fucking hound you until the ends of the earth. So help me God.
Yep.
And I will not be alone.
No. There will be a team. There will be backup on this one. Yes. For stuff like that, people come back from retirement.
Like, there's a level of escalation and there are unspoken rules of engagement.
Indeed.
Don't fucking involve outsiders. Don't fucking involve people's families.
Right.
That's dirty ass shit. And all you're doing is making yourself look like the biggest hunk of worthless trash worthy of everything that is coming your way.
Right. Now, as side effects happen, though, like, if what happens to you happens to make your family realize you're a piece of shit and say they leave you or things, well, that's fine as long as the fight was these two people. But you can't involve them. It's not a thing. They can involve themselves, but you can't involve them.
No. Like, if they do not bring themselves into the picture, you back the fuck off.
Damn straight.
And I'm saying this because my son Dade is less than 2 weeks from his due date. So
here it comes.
Yeah. So I have people in my mind that I have to implicitly protect and keep out of threat zones. And don't fuck around.
Damn straight.
Where you shouldn't be fucking around.
Right? Simple. These aren't hard things to understand either.
I know threats watch this. I know people are paying very close attention to me and everything that I do lately. And I'm saying this as a reasonable individual that does not want things to go where they don't need to go.
Damn straight.
Keep people's families out of business.
So, that's just an understood, and people who don't understand it, they find out. They find out much harder than everyone else who finds out. Because when the gloves come off,
I'm a malicious, limitless asshole, but no,
they haven't seen Limitless yet. You know, you have been doing what it takes to not go to jail. When that restriction is removed, it gets different. It gets really different, and people need to understand that. Just don't cross those lines. It's a pretty simple thing not to do.
There is a Geneva Convention of Internet War. That is true. It might not be written down. It might not be ratified, but there is a mutual.
All of us who have been through the fire know it well. Indeed. So I wanted to get your opinion. A completely different subject with no proper transition of any kind. I wanted to get your opinion on these NFTs with the blockchain art now. Beeple makes $69 million at a Christie's auction for a JPEG, and it's on the Ethereum blockchain now. And that proves ownership, and the owner has the keys to be able to transfer ownership, of course, via the blockchain again. And
how much do you think that I can get for an NFT of a picture of my butthole?
It would probably sell, because the stylized picture that someone did, a crappy JPEG of @Jack's first tweet, sold for like 2.5 million. Like, this shit is stupid right now.
So you just need to get it on the Christie's auction list in the first place.
I mean, do some kind of a 420 chan related thing, and I bet you make thousands. An internet culture related thing, you know, that you could prove. I mean, that's you. You have every right to do that. You know what I mean?
Hey, somebody in chat, original Guy Fawkes mask image. You know what? Yeah, like you have some assets that we discussed in the past that that you need to dig up and send my way.
That's interesting.
And maybe we could consider
Doing
a little bit of vintage anonymous memorabilia NFT, which can itself be reinvested into
people might remember that in the episode where I talked about some of the original kind of artwork that is used by everyone today that I helped with, that I had a partner who did, you know, there was a graphic designer who worked with me on it too. This is someone who I hadn't talked to in nearly 6 years, and just through the miracle of how things work, they showed up like a couple weeks ago and are hanging out again, and I think we're getting along. You know, it's been one of those, there was a falling out. I still don't 100% understand it, but I'm damn sure it was my fault. What?
Want to introduce me?
I will, but I'm damn sure it was my fault. So however it happened, we're kind of talking again. And so anyone involved who actually had a stake in this being a thing is here. That's interesting. Yeah. But people makes $69 million out of nowhere for this kind of art. And now I say out of nowhere, but then when you look at the history of it, people did actually do 14 years of doing a graphic every single day, a new piece of art. And the only reason I think people is like the right person to have this specific kind of start to this is because on the article, tweet of the article that Christie's put out, People's the first response of the article saying that they made, and people's whole response is holy fuck. And like, I want someone whose response publicly to making $69 million on a piece of art is to tweet holy fuck. Like, I want that person to be not some weird sanctimonious asshole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. A lot of effort was put in to get there, but this idea then leads to another argument that's now ongoing in the art community, because a lot of artists are very environmentally, friendly people. They are very much pro-environment. You know, they are very much on the climate change is real side of things, which is the truth. So, you know, I'm glad they're there. But they're usually that type of human being, right? And Ethereum's blockchain is very inefficient. And so one of the artists who did an NFT did the math on it because there's actually a way that you can track how much actual compute time was used to verify the transaction of a block on the Ethereum blockchain. So they went back through their electric records and got the total amount of electricity that their art studio had used in the last 2 years, and selling this one piece of art through an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain used 2 years worth of electricity for their studio. And so they decided that they're not going to sell anymore until this gets solved.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, you can counter that by, you know, we can do some vintage unreleased early anonymous iconography NFTs, and we can take the returns from them and donate the electrical cost out of the earnings to a pro environment, pro green organization.
Right, I'm there.
And you know, there are solutions here to this. Yes, NFTs are gigantic, fucking horrific.
So there are two solutions. One is, of course, when you make a profit of that size out of this, definitely donate to some environmentally friendly causes. Two, definitely get paid as artists. Artists need to start finding new ways to get paid, especially for digital art, where right now they're mostly like designing people's business cards and shit. Like, you know, the non-fungible, you know, things. It's hard to get paid for this, but I will say that, like in chat, Ethereum is moving from a proof of work to a proof of stake for its transaction verification and confirmation process. And that will cut the energy use down so much that it will be totally a non-issue in terms of environmental impact. However, we've known this is coming for some time, and it still isn't here. So I don't know if we're 2 months out, 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out from proof of stake being the thing that is actually live on the main blockchain. We'll see. But I would love to see that happen, because all of the NFT systems, which there are like 4 good auction houses that are just built for this, like a whole website you can go up to and post your stuff, and it all handles all the blockchain shit for you. So
there's a service that allows you to sell an NFT of a tweet, and there are people going around and just finding people's tweets and hijacking them.
Yeah.
And I hope that every single one of those pieces of shit gets their asses served.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see where this goes, because if you follow it, you can look back at the first kind of one of these NFT marketplaces that showed up. Wasn't that long ago. NFTs are brand fucking new. But the first major sale was $6,000, and then only the next day one sold for over $60,000, and then keeping in tune with the number 6, only a week later, the first one that sold for $6 million. It was 6 point something million, to a person who stated they wanted to own the first one, and they missed out on actually being first to own it, but now they fucking own it. And I guess if you collect art, that's a thing. Sure. But the price increase went very, very quickly. It's absolutely crazy. It is the first, I think, because we've seen payment systems that use Bitcoin and payment systems that allow Ether and all these other things, but I haven't really seen a good solid just use of the blockchain that makes the general public money that isn't trading it like it's a stock or something, or some kind of commodity, So I like the idea of being able to use the blockchain for something that pays a group of people that generally, I think, are underpaid for their work and undervalued for their work. I like that idea.
Every time somebody starts talking up, holding on for dear life and just take any crypto they get and holding it, I always lament to them, I am not in any place whatsoever to have taken any crypto gains that I have gotten over the years and not had to sell them in order to survive. So I am envious of you for being able to ride this train. But I've always been on that precarious life situation where, and also seemingly bad luck, where every single time it is critical and I need money, so I can't hold on to this. I need to fucking sell it so that I can make rent. Every single fucking time without fail, we're talking over several years here. Every time I sell, within a day, it's when Bitcoin's been in a dip. And
you're selling the dip, and
I'm always not because of anything.
Not on purpose. You just happen to keep being caught out by it.
I cut out by it. Yeah, every single time.
It is expensive being poor. I need to. That is definitely right.
It happens, and then suddenly it bounces back up 25% or 50%. Yeah. I sold 155 Bitcoin and got $1,200 for it.
It
just
hurts,
to pay
doesn't
server
it?
bills.
It hurts. We
everything
know
else is everything else is fucking peanuts, and it doesn't really bother me because that
right,
alone,
but that's a house.
That's several $1 million.
Yeah, it's a nice house done with solar and a Tesla in the driveway.
And when that was sold, that was Bitcoin that was donated to me, and the person that sent it to me said, yo, if you hey, here, take it. I'm cashing out. I'm cashing everything out. You can take this, and here's your fucking 420 chain payments for the next 6 months. Just get rid of it as quickly as you fucking can. This bubble is over. It's been a fun ride the last 2 years.
And they were slightly off on their prediction. Slightly off. Oh wow. But hey, live and learn, all that fun stuff. It is expensive being poor. That is one of those issues. Yeah, we're fighting through it. The donations, the subs, all the bits, all that stuff helps. Kirtaner's Patreon has been put into the chat if anyone wants to help pay the next grocery bill there or whatever else. Server costs and all that.
In there, I'm gonna put a couple of crypto wallet addresses if you would like to support me and keep me from going over the edge in terms of insolvency. I'm going to put a Bitcoin address. I'm going to put a Dogecoin address, an Ethereum address, and a Monero address. Anything helps.
Perfect. Yeah, it doesn't matter which chain it's on. It can all be used. Yeah. So now, the Nebraska good old governor of Nebraska, Pete Picketts today says that if they legalize marijuana, it's gonna kill your kids. That is the level of reefer madness going on in Nebraska right now. I just what like, and then he says that the data from around the country backs this up. And no.
What data would that be?
No, exactly? Like this is me, like the teetotaling, anti all drugs, no alcohol kind of a guy, but no, utterly wrong. The data shows that it's actually better for society when it's legalized.
I believe the correct question for the governor of Nebraska is, are you high?
Yeah, like exactly. That is the correct way to.
What?
Oh. Yeah, and yeah, we will entropy command there. I'm definitely gonna reach out to Mel B there to Cold Brew Tool and see if they want to come on, and we will talk about that because I just find that funny. The biggest pot grower I know lives in Nebraska. Like, I just find that hilarious. Like the juxtaposition of that today when it was like the governor of Nebraska. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Like, just yeah, like I know someone with acres. Like, it's fucking stupid. But yeah, I found it hilarious that we were seeing some good old reefer madness today, and the term reefer madness trended.
Some old people from back in the Chanology days that that were involved in operating some of the boards that we summarily tore down and ordered them to help shut down. They're into large scale commercial growing now. Like it's pretty fucking funny. Like, almost everybody is non-binary or trans, and is into cannabis cultivation, and is a prolific hacker in one of any number of given disciplines. So trans demon hackers, yeah. That seems to be the image board pipeline of the time. Everybody either went one of two ways. You either turn into a Nazi piece of shit, or a hyper gay trans hacker demon, hyper leftist trans hacker demon. Like there is no middle ground. Aside from apparently myself and a couple of others, like we're a minority, and that's kind of beautiful. I enjoy saying that myself as a straight white male is a minority within a major social group that I was formational to. Like that makes me happy in my soul. And I love my my non-conformant anarchist trans family. I love them all to bits, and I hope
it is one of the things that like has been a little I would say almost lucky for me, because I grew up in an environment where none of that was okay. I grew up in a Texas Republican family who were anti-gay and everything else, right? So my upbringing was going to make it much more complicated for me to be right when I address people by their pronouns properly and all that. Not because I have those problems that my family did. I'm definitely there with all of us over here. Spread the love. But you grow up with patterns of speech, with ways you address people just kind of built in, and it starts to build up over time, and it becomes hard to change those patterns of speech in terms of addressing people. But in our space for a long time, the norm has been this non-binary, the trans, the using different pronouns, like for years more than it's been in the public eye as a very normal thing that you might even see on like CNN these days, like talked about just as absolutely the average. You know, we've been around that for a decade longer than the average American has. And that helped me a lot, because when it became a big thing, I was already very well trained into dealing with it right. As a, again, like you said, as a cis white male, like, I mean, it's, you know, it was a thing I had to get used to, but I did that a long time ago. I already put in that effort.
Yep, and you know, like, given that a lot of these people were brought up in the environment of self-deprecatory humor and lack of political correctness, that is the image board praxis, especially of the time. The general consensus amongst most of my friends is they feel kind of sick and sick to their stomach and patronized, and essentially like used by so-called social justice warriors. And I consider myself an SJW. Like, I'm a hardline fucking SJW.
Right.
But there's a difference between this and people that are so overt and choking and suppressing with blasting this rhetoric, like just screaming at the top of the lungs at anybody that so much as has a seeming slight at the LGBT community, in order to get their woke points and make sure that they are seen as a staunch ally.
The only way to be seen as an ally is just to have a general long-term approach to doing things right and apologizing when you don't. Like, I still
all you're
make
doing
random
is more
mistakes.
damage.
Yeah,
you're just doing more. You're just doing more damage. You're shutting out people that are actually within these marginalized groups who consider all of your activity with complete and utter distaste, and see it for what it is, posturing for social clout. Like, come on,
Right.
it's, you don't have to fucking do that. Just be a good ally
Yeah,
by
just-
supporting them when
exactly.
they need to be supported.
Yeah.
Don't go on fucking pointless witch hunts half of your time online when you could be doing something actually fucking productive. You're not helping anybody. You're harming the movement. You're pissing off the people that you're supposedly standing up for.
They see through
it. And they see through it. And sometimes they will call you out for it, and then we'll get shit on saying that, oh, you're just self-hating, and why are you sabotaging? Why are you sabotaging your own people? Like, shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, realistically speaking, like, these people are not the types to in any way try to conform to any of society's norms, and tend to piss off people just by being themselves. And then I've got you motherfuckers trying to speak on my behalf for a bunch of shit that I don't even agree with you attacking them for. Like, I'm fine with it. Fucking chill. Like, it.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joey. Thanks, homie. Everything you guys do helps.
Do not weaponize acceptance like the far right weaponizes their hate.
Yes.
That's the best way that I can put this without directly pissing people off or overstepping my bounds.
So are you guys?
And I'll say that, like,
yeah.
The LGBT community, it's been part of my life, my entire life. I have multiple gay uncles. I have a gay uncle that died of HIV when I was young. A family friend was a childhood babysitter. I called her Auntie Catherine. She killed herself when I was young, because of the pressures and hate and lack of acceptance of the transgender community at the time. Like, we're talking early to mid 90s here. So I've had a lot of this stuff like beat into me over personal life experiences of people that I knew, or were part of my family or were close to my family over the years. So it's kind of a natural outcome that I've always been a staunch ally and incredibly close to and empathetic to these marginalized groups and individuals. And I just like, they are some of the best friends that I have ever known. And we would support each other until the ends of the earth. And I never want that to fucking change.
Damn straight. And thanks everyone in chat there for helping out.
Don't fucking patronize them. Don't make them feel like they're helpless and worthless. They are capable of fighting their own fucking battles.
Damn straight.
Do not start battles for them.
That is the worst thing you can do.
No, because all you're going to do is you're going to piss everyone off.
So I want to talk about a different subject, one that I'm really hoping and praying never happens. I'm going to put an image up on screen here, because this was tweeted out today. So look at that one, Kurt. Twitter tweeted that out today. Now, are they signaling that an edit button is coming? Because I really fucking hope they aren't. Because you know what we don't need? An edit button for the Nazis to go back and edit all their old shit so it doesn't look like they said things. If they want to delete, fine, go do that work, but don't let them edit things that have already been responded to, retweeted, sent around.
They're adding an undo button, which is smart. But
an undo button is fine, and like a 5-second button rule for the undo, something like that, sure, but like an edit button that just works needs.
There would be
no.
A necessity of a number of concessions for an edit button. So in order for an edit button to exist reasonably within Twitter, as it exists now, and how it is used by people to inflame conflict,
nice,
and sow chaos, and trust me, like if they added an edit button that didn't have any of these, I would abuse the ever-loving shit out of it, and so would half of the fucking platform. So what
it would ruin the entire way it works.
If there is a retweet, if there is a retweet, or if there is a quote tweet, the edit would have to add some form of notification or a blanking out of these interactions. There would have to be
if an edit triggered a complete removal of retweets and responses, then yeah, okay.
With a notification that this tweet has been modified following.
I wouldn't hate. I mean, I'd still hate it, but I wouldn't hate it as much.
Yeah, exactly. Like the amount of concessions and chain of trust requirements that would be involved here. It's like
it's
really
a lot.
Go to that trouble. It's a lot. It is a fucking lot. How do you handle embeds? How do you
that thread is full of nothing but people screaming, please, for the love of God, don't do this. So, whew, saw that one go by today, and it just...
As far as I'm concerned, an edit on Twitter is to delete the original tweet and to repost it, stating that there was a mistake in the original.
Damn straight.
Or to ensure that there is a reply beforehand with a correction.
And if you want to make an edit button that basically makes that one click instead of 10, you know, then fine.
Yeah, sure.
But like, no, just straight, I can go back and edit, you know, a year-long video, please. Yeah. No. Or a year-long, like, post. Like, no, that's not a thing. I don't want it.
Or even a link to the edit history.
Yeah. Also, yeah, definitely in the analytics for tweets buttons there should be a history that everyone can see. But, I mean, still, I also just don't want them to put the button. Just please don't give us edit. We don't need it. It's not a feature you need to put all this effort into.
Twitter is, I had an argument, actually, I've had this argument a lot over the years, and when I frame it like this to them, they always go, holy shit, that makes so much sense. So within the confines of image boards, you'll occasionally have people pop up that are like, why the fuck does anybody care about Twitter? Like Twitter isn't it just some fucking like clout seeking garbage, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, let me put it this way. Twitter as a mainstream social network is the closest thing that I could I could compare to a modern riff on the image board format with a character limit to keep things short and sweet. Like it is essentially it is a rapid scrolling. It's like you're on fucking /B on 4chan.
Yeah.
Your Twitter feed, it's linear, it's constantly going down. You know, threads come, they go. You post you make a tweet, it has its moment in the sun. You know, it's got its burst of interactions. It either pisses people off, it's got people laughing, crying, sharing, and you wake up the next day and it's gone, it's done and dusted. The only way somebody's going to go back and revisit it is if they're actively searching for it, or they're scrolling, or they're making a concerted effort to go and find this and see what they missed when they were sleeping or at work at the end of the day. As far as the design of a modern network goes, that is actually the main reason why I only truly use and appreciate Twitter. It ticks a lot of the same boxes that a rapid shot, free for all, public discussion forum does as an image board.
Yeah.
Just that, you know, there's a little bit more accountability. You know, there is actual moderation. You can't go completely fucking overboard, or you'll get your shit slapped. But as far as the rest of it goes, it's essentially the exact same fucking thing. You got people making jokes, making parody tweets, making memes and posting them, and they go viral just as they would on ye old 4chan back in the day. It functions almost exactly the same fucking way.
Does.
And on top of that, the character constraint adds a positive limitation where if you are trying to make a joke, if you are trying to make something really fucking land solidly and truly go viral and spread dramatically, if you can't do it within that 280 character limit or less, you need to go back to the drawing board and refine your shit. It is the litmus test, essentially, of perfecting your messaging.
Absolutely.
And that's why Twitter has become so potent and so powerful, and why it doesn't have the raw numbers as other social networks. If you take a look at their
Daily active users,
audience
active
counts,
users,
their MAUs, their DAUs, and whatnot. They're
way lower than Facebook or Instagram.
They're way lower. Like they're like seventh or eighth on the list. But as far as actual impact and far-reaching effects, if something goes viral on Twitter, it will on its own move to Facebook, move to Instagram.
Yeah, it'll go everywhere else.
It will go everywhere else. It is the crucible. It is the proving grounds of modern internet memetics. And you can quote me on that.
Yeah, it's the same way we used to see things happen on, like, literally. I mean, when people think about the Rickroll, right? Or they think about any of these early, like, memes that really took off and went viral, they all started in that exact style of format. Short posts, not much information, moving fast, hard to see what's going on, might catch on maybe, and then moves off of this network to other places to become the viral hit it is. It's very similar in the way it functions.
The short and terse format of it is tailor-made for refining your art of shit posting. Twitter, its number one use is prime shit posting.
Yeah.
And its secondary use is newsworthy exposure. Its third use is as an actual, like, social platform itself. It's from the top down.
Yeah.
There are people
it's
that
hard
only
to use it as a social platform, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like Twitter, Twitter is where you go to fuck around, and have some laughs and just have a good time.
Yes.
If you're taking Twitter too seriously, consider that you are completely not getting the point of its microblogging format.
Indeed.
It is where you have a really stupid thought at 3 a.m. drunk off your ass, and you just want to like blast it out, and you got nowhere else that is suitable for it because you don't want to do some fucking lame Facebook post, where your family's gonna see. It's like no, I want to talk about how I accidentally came on a hot dog and it changed my life forever. That's what Twitter's made for.
Indeed.
And that will always be the case. And I
so
swear
please
to God,
don't put
Jack
an edit
Dorsey,
button on it, goddammit.
Jack Dorsey and company, please stop fucking ruining what makes Twitter so fucking perfect.
Indeed.
I beg you.
They are definitely working on it. I mean, I put everyone that I actually care to follow into a Twitter list, like much smaller than my normal following, because like I like to follow a wide variety of people, but sometimes I just want what I'm really focused on. So I have a list which allows you to do it completely unalgorithmically. Everything you view is in an absolute order of when they posted it in a list. And so most of my like retweeting you see me do or any real interactions you see, I got from looking at the completely old school list format of a feed. That's how I use it. Otherwise it'd be near impossible. I hate the algorithmic feeds.
It is probably out of every single traditional social network that has ever been conceived, its raw design and format is I have yet to see a single attempt at one-upping it be successful.
Yeah.
Period. It's perfect. Like I actually feel pained using any other platform outside of traditional like comms platforms. Like as far as actual discussion forums and the like go, I got two homes. It's Twitter and it's the Chans.
Yeah.
And that's probably never going to change.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell how I feel about it in that my Twitter account has like, 100,000 something followers, right? But like my Reddit account, which was created the week literally they first created accounts on Reddit, so it's that old, has less karma and less posts on it than a user who created their account yesterday. Like, it really does. I mean, I think I have 1,000 of the karma stuff or something, and it all came because I posted in your AMA. I literally was like owner of the anonymous subreddit for like 12 years, and I had less than 1,000 karma and like 5 posts. And my Twitter account like is all day every day. One makes sense to me, the other doesn't.
Yeah. It's funny. Thanks for adding me to the moderator list of
Yes.
of the anonymous subreddit.
Just by the way, when you reach out to the mods, you might be talking to him.
I haven't logged into my Reddit account since that AMA because the number of notifications and shit it got fucking overwhelming. So I will eventually go back and go through my inbox, which has over 500 unread private messages, 200 chat requests, and apparently I have over a decade of Reddit Gold from all of the awards.
Nice.
But I got into like somebody, it's frequent where people will notice me in a space and they will try to give me shit. And then other people will shut them down, and then they'll go through my connected accounts and they'll be like, oh, holy fucking shit, he is a moderator of that subreddit. So it's like, there's all these little like tells and signs and shit that like, I'm not just some rando guy trying to like pretend I'm something I'm not. I don't even fucking throw my weight around. Like if somebody tries to call me a fake, I'll be like, okay, but you're wrong. And here's a couple of things to look at. So like I'm pretty fucking reserved. I just focus on whatever the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm not going around and muscling my way and be like, hey, bitch, you know who I am? Oh, you're trying to start some shit with the founder of Anonymous, motherfucker. You better hold your
Oh
fucking
man, when
tongue.
it goes back to all
Like,
that
no.
old shit, the right response is like, "Hey, I was there. I did some things. Stuff started. Whatever. Let's talk about now, though. I got shit to do."
It was a big happy accident, and it turned into something that
Right?
I never would have fucking imagined. And you're wrong. And basically, go fuck yourself.
Damn straight.
You want to call me a larper? Yeah, cool.
Have fun with
I'm
that.
gonna go get my wizard hat and robe, and we're gonna have a good time. I'll show you
Nice,
what LARPing
nice.
is.
And for anyone who caught that, you belong here.
I know, right? Like, just my expansive encyclopedic knowledge of ancient memery dating back to the early '90s. Like,
And
just
for
that
anyone who didn't get that, go look up my wizard head
Ninja.
robe.
like I will tweet a
It's funny.
reference to an ancient meme or a joke that is basically like a double reference. Like, it is a pointed and funny comment on something, but it's also an ancient meme.
Right.
And then nobody gets it, and I get a bunch of people in my replies that are like acting like this is some actual serious, like, fresh response from myself, and I'm like, oh, you sweet summer children. Oh, I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna be like, you guys realize that this is you don't. No, I'm just gonna let it be and let somebody else take care of it.
Damn straight.
It's perfect. If there is anything that actually points to and proves my legitimacy, that I've been around and deeply intricately involved as long as I have, it is just the fact that I can integrate ancient memes and running jokes at the drop of a hat, like I was just in regular conversation. Like, you wouldn't even notice that I'm memeing.
Yep.
And anybody that knows, they fucking know, and that's the point.
Damn straight.
Yeah, all these people, all these fucking youngins not getting the jokes. It's like, oh, I am 12, and what is this?
Right? Okay. So I want to look at. So what does chat want to talk about? Anything fun? Anything chat thinks we haven't covered yet tonight?
Let's can I go get a glass of water? I'm
Yeah, definitely. Let's
Okay,
do
yeah.
let's do a little quick break here.
Yeah,
and
do it. Do you have the buttons that let you do an ad break? Because if I haven't been doing ad rolls, then I don't know what to say to you.
well, I believe you do, because you did last week. You said got to get your shit together.
Yeah.
I just forgot to actually have them up on screen tonight, but I am pulling it up.
Always have the creator
right
dashboard. Always have the creator dashboard up, and always have it ready with the 180-second ad roll button.
Yep, let's get to the dashboard. There we go. The problem is my big light right here that makes it where you can see me in this dark room is in front of the monitor where the dashboard goes. All right, everyone. We are going to do a little break, use the restroom, grab ourselves some drinks, and we'll be right back. And I'm going to kill the hot mics. All right, everyone, we are coming back now. All right, everyone, we are back. After all that talking of the old times, I kind of had no choice. 4K Rickroll. I mean, really, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it's a process. First, they get you hooked on the Rick roll, and next thing you know, you're duck rolling like nobody's business, and everybody's looking at you like you've lost your fucking mind.
Damn straight. Uh, yeah, good old San Antonio. When we had they literally, I mean, for when Mr. Robot asked me for two words or two, like a thing they could say, that would work, that someone would get as an in joke in the audience. Doing marble and cake was, that really made me happy that they ran with it for the phone interaction there.
Marble cake, also the game.
Indeed. Yeah, so chat, we're over 2 hours here. You have all been rickrolled. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah. Let's ask some questions, and also I think I need to like I need to just do something like just recreational after this, and just take my mind off of shit. So after we wrap up, what I posit to Greg here is I'm gonna go live on my own Twitch channel,
Okay.
and I'm gonna play some fucking video games and relax, and you can shoot the shit and just fuck around on my channel afterwards. So when we decide that we're done here, I will go live there, and then Greg here can raid my channel, and then I can unwind for a few hours and try to decompress a little bit, and then get to all of the people that are contacting me and on back channels asking me if everything's okay. If you're watching this right now, I am trying to be okay.
Yes, you're doing a good job of holding it together. But it is definitely one of those nights where playing some games might help.
Yeah.
So
I can say that I don't often experience involuntary shakes.
right, it's these days when you're wondering what's still on certain computers and what conversations you might have had, and thinking back, did I say that thing that I think I said?
No, there's nothing incriminating about me. I'm more scared for my friends.
Yes, but you know what I mean. It's the similar idea of it.
Yeah.
It's just that wondering. I wonder what was said.
Especially as I've been making a concerted effort to try and advise these people.
Also, especially after you literally just release, disclosure on one of these supposedly secure systems that wasn't. Like the timing is just special there.
I woke up to a whirlwind of shit.
I think this is the correct idea here. So how do we do this?
Oh, you're gonna do it now?
I mean, why not? We're 2 hours into the stream. We've been going for a while. I don't have anything else left on my notes. I think chat seems to be into the idea.
Okay, so chat can wrap it up and maybe ask another questions. I need to do a little bit of pre-prep here and click around so that my channel's actually live and you can rate it. My camera feed will revert to an OBS placeholder a few times while I do this. So chat, feel free to ask questions. My mic will remain hot.
All right, I am getting the thing back up here so I can do this. Yeah, the Myanmar stuff is still just going. It is nonstop. There is a lot to keep getting done. Definitely. think it is ready here. Huh. Okay, so I believe we are ready at this point for whenever. All right.
Just another few minutes here. I am.
Yeah, no worries at all. You do you. I was just making sure that I was indeed ready. All right, let's see here. One of those lights that clips to your monitor. So I have one of the round lights right here, and then I have two lights on the side here, and I want to show you like how big the difference is. Like when I turn that light off, like it's that, you know, and that, like there's a lot of brightness around me right now. Like I am tanning currently. So Mac has seen the setup. There's a lot of bright white light here. Let's see. Would you guys ever consider running some PR to make hackers more understandable to the average Dro? You know, Dead Cross. So like, that is one of the things
I'm kind of doing that actively, constantly.
That we work on a lot when we talk to the media. You know, a lot of the stuff that I did, especially even back in like the early 2010 to 2013 range, where I interviewed 400 plus times with media outlets, was simply to try and demystify a lot of this stuff and make it more understandable to the general public. The work that I've done on any like the TV show stuff like the House of Cards or the Mr. Robot or any of that was, again, not only to make it real, but also, you know, to actually work hard to try and get it to an understandable place where when you would see a hacker doing something, not only were you seeing reality, but you were also actually, you know, getting an explanation along with it. And I think that was important. So I definitely
getting environmental details and subtext that will resonate with people that understand the actual environment and the real logistics of what they are supposedly seeing. Like that is something that Mr. Robot fucking nailed.
Definitely. You know, another thing,
basically when it comes to hacker aesthetic in media, you either need to, like, there are 2 points that you are allowed to hit, and anything outside of those 2 very specific points on a scale from realism to fantastical, you're blowing it and you're a fucking joke. Those points are Mr. Robot in the realism and hackers in the fantastical.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
One of those 2, no deviation. You can even take elements from either of those 2 extremes, but do not deviate. Don't do a fucking numbers description of IRC. Don't do fucking NCIS hacking with fucking 2 people hammering on a keyboard and a fucking
and red code on the screen. That's evil code.
You can do that as long as it's like self-aware and you realize it's terrible.
Yeah, if you're doing pitch perfect satire and everybody knows it's satire, go ahead. If you're trying to make some actual like drama production that people are supposed to take seriously, you have now taken that drama and turned it into a laughable fucking comedy.
It's a farce. It's literally a farce.
Mm-hmm. Like let me put it this way. Nobody learned any lessons from the realistic subtle nod to actual hacking techniques that was Nmap having a cameo in the Matrix.
Right.
Like that was the high watermark up until Mr. Robot. Like we're talking about a fucking feature film from the 90s and 3 seconds of footage. That was your high watermark up until Mr. Robot. That's fucking sad. Like that is depressing. That's depressing as hell.
It's hard to get the people who control the money to understand that you want to do it right. It really is.
And then you see people today being like, "Oh, what the fuck, Telnet? Look at that unrealistic shit." It's like, excuse me, do you know when that came out?
Yeah, like It's all about convincing the people at the top. Luckily, by the time I got involved in Mr. Robot, it was long before it actually went to air or finished filming or anything. But the creator Sam Esmail and partner Core Adana had already convinced the people with the purse strings that it was gonna be done right, and that they were gonna bring in people to help them make sure it looked right. And so when I showed up, there were some fights to be had about like how realistic some of the hacks were, because some of them were literal real 0 days that were really being used that had not been exposed yet, and that was a real device. And if you had only looked at, like, say, the model number on it instead of our fake company logo on it, you might have realized that one of those devices was an actual Honeywell device and this was a real unreleased 0 day. Like, getting them on board with that type of shit was still an argument to be had, but just the realism argument of it and the amount of extra effort put into making it look right had already been done, and that was huge.
Yeah, the only way that you can do better than instant disclosure of a 0 day on Twitter for everybody to fucking laugh their asses off with is by doing it on a goddamn an actual primetime acclaimed fictional television drama. Like that is peak. That is peak disclosure right there.
Okay, so it's being asked in chat about where is it how far off War Games was. So the thing that's wrong with War Games is not the way Matthew Broderick's character gets into systems. That's all legit. Like the war dialing, the automatic hanging up of non-computer systems, the automatic detection of what the computer system was running. All of that was already viable at that point. There were software tools out there, like Tone Loc was one of the ones that I used, in the late '80s, to war dial, which is what it was called. And so all of that was like normal and realistic. Where it gets way off base is when the computer starts acting like it's got a good enough AI to actually communicate with you and have feelings towards its creator. That's where you lose me. But the actual hacks themselves, the finding of backdoors, the way old systems back then actually worked, the way they war dialed, even the software tools he was using, surprisingly realistic for the time period. But nothing compared to like how you would do it on the internet. Like way different than what you would do once we got online, really, But for phone-based hacking, it was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was happy with it back then. I mean, like Kurt was saying, like when it comes to the internet style stuff, you're definitely looking at some of the stuff that the Matrix did as them showing some pieces of it being done right. But when you're talking about like old school and just like straight phone based, the public switch telephone network, the PDSN there, it was War Games. They got everything right except for that computer on the other end wanting to do all that shit.
And then we got the fucking CFAA out of that film too.
Because it scared senators. Ugh.
You're doing it right when your fictional movie results in fear-driven laws being passed.
Look, I'm more impressed by the fact that it was actually like it drove the writing of new laws, but also that hacking was pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big surprise.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the most low key and underappreciated hacker adjacent film.
It really
right?
is.
Everything he does is totally exactly how a hacker would do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Like honestly, especially at the time where like even now, one of the most realistic depictions of hacking and infiltration of a network in modern media. Period. And it's not even a fucking hacker-centric film. It's literally just
side note.
It's just about a guy who definitely thinks like we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Treats the world in that same way.
Mm-hmm. He just needs to outsmart the system in any way possible.
The social engineering as the sausage king of Chicago, Abe Froman, is exactly how I've gotten it. I mean, not as Abe Froman, but exactly how I've gotten into multiple places I wasn't supposed to be.
Right down to the like that sort of giving the illusion of credibility by having someone else call in. That's exactly the sort of thing
Oh,
you
it's a
would do.
cheap trick, and it works a lot.
Yep. Like I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the first time, like many years ago, and I had never heard a like I just heard people say being like, oh yeah, Ferris Bueller, that's a fucking bomb ass funny ass movie. Like, it was in the teenage zeitgeist for over a generation after it came out.
Oh
And
yeah.
literally not a single person that had ever talked that movie up had ever so much as brought up the fucking hacking sequences in that film. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're all chilling in a basement, we're all high as shit, and that part happens, and I start flipping the fuck out. I was like, yo, this kid lead as fuck. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck is going on? Why didn't anybody tell me about this shit? And everybody in the room just like turns and looks at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, dude,
that's actual
fucking cracking his fucking school right now. He fucking got the login and password and fucking, oh, what the fuck is happening? Nobody told me about this shit. And well, we'll just say that that I created a divide in that friend circle that day, and the people that were not really into tech but thought that we were cool kind of distanced themselves because they were starting to become scared of us, and the more nerdy of us started talking stuff that we had never really discussed before, because I kind of outed myself a little bit there. That's a very personal event.
Yep.
Tied to my first group viewing of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So it has a special place in my heart. The people that were scared of me, well, they might have had some accidents in the coming weeks from some of their assignments in their student folders having somehow vanished the day that the assignment was due. I had known nothing about this.
The first thing that I ever did that was even remotely close to this was probably, I would say, in 4th grade at our school. They had us on the old black and white Macs. They had just upgraded us from the black and green screens, which we had for the first few months of school, and we had these new. They were like, I think, the SE30s or one of the early models where it was black and white, and we had typing class as part of what we had to do. And they had disabled the menu options for cut, copy, and paste, so you had to type out the sentences, 20, 30 times. And I, of course, quickly figured out the hotkeys that were also disabled in all the menus, and the thing that would show you the keyboard hotkeys was also disabled, but the hotkeys themselves still worked. And then I told one of the other kids in class that for $5 I'd teach them how to type it once and then just paste it, even though the system wasn't allowing it. And he paid me the $5 and I showed him how to do it. And then he, as a very smart person, came to me and said, I've got like 5 other people all willing to pay you $5 to do this. He didn't share it. I was surprised. I was like, you should have made your $5.
Yeah,
but
right?
literally just teaching people how to Control C, Control P, or Command C, Command P on the Apple there, made me like $30 that day. That was like my first kind of way around that stuff.
Okay,
times.
so my channel is, as far as I can tell, it is now live.
Okay, let's see if it wants to let me do a thing. Are you all ready in chat? We are gonna head on over to Kurt here. Not host, stop it. Alright, raid. Kurt. There we go. It says you are alive. Alright, everybody, we are raiding Kurt.
Words that I would normally have completely and utterly recoiled at and gone and started parsing all of my logs.
Right? All right, there we go.
Cool. All right, so my mic is not hot on this feed, so they're watching me talk to you.
Yes. So I'm gonna shut down ours, and I am going to say goodnight, and then be watching you.
Yeah. Yep. Do that. I'm gonna swap my feed over here now. Oh, hi. You can hear me now. I was saying my last words to Gregg in our Zoom call, so
Hey.
I apologize for that moment of silence.